Hi students, it's me again. So today I wanted to just talk to you about what your online activities are going to be for this week. Again, these first couple weeks are going to be a little weird because um, we are still working on setting up your teams and projects. So just bear with me. But for this week, if you go to the week 1 module, you will see, I know your view looks a little different than mine. This is instructor view, but you do have these folders. Here you have the weekly videos. That's where we'll put, I'll be doing a video in the beginning of the week, just explaining what's happening for the rest of the week. And then you have your individual assignments and then your online activities. So, I'm just going to move these here. So let's go into individual assignments. So, crap, didn't want to go there. I want to go to the online activities first. Sorry, so I put it there. Okay, so here's just a basic overview. Well, this is what is due and when for your online activities for the week, and that would be for this week. For your online activities, they will be you'll be using your team. In this case, your temporary team's group discussion board. And as you can see, you have 2 activities. Something is due pretty much every day. It's not a lot of work, but you do have to contribute a little bit of time every day on this. So this is where you'll see, what's coming. In order to access where that is, you just go to your groups. It's going to look different than my my interface, obviously, but I think you just have a group tab. So you're going to go to your group discussion board, and once I create the permanent teams, it will be the same layout. I'm going to delete the temporary teams, and we'll have the permanent teams once we create them next week. All right, so your first activity is resume draft and peer feedback. So I'm hoping at this point that all of you do have a resume. If not, you really need to start working on one, and that's why we're doing it at the beginning of this. One of the reasons we're doing that at the beginning of this semester, because you will be graduating most likely, and you will need a resume. So what I'd like you to do for this activity is just to post a draft of your resume here to the forum. And then for part 2, and that's due on the 25th, for part 2, I'd like you to give feedback. Read 2 other resumes that your fellow students in your team have posted, and just give a little feedback. It can be this is a really strong resume. Why? Maybe they need to change some things in your opinion, and you can give them suggestions. Okay. The second activity is the project brainstorm. So for this, part 1 is going to be due on the 27th, and what I want you to do is go to this link, and this is actually, as I mentioned earlier, I am modeling this seminar class after the capstone class at the University of Washington. And these are some projects that some of their students have done. So this is, all right, let's see what this one, Devour, looks like kind of cool. So, okay, so this is a mobile application that they developed, and here's a little presentation of what they can do. I'm not changing it. Okay. We don't care about you. Just trying to see. Okay, so here we have the the information problem at the bottom, as you can see in the italics. So what should we have for dinner? And this app apparently solves the problem, provides key recipes that every individual in their party will enjoy. They recognize that eating is more than just an individual act, and embrace the personalization goes beyond the individual. And they talk about applications like Netflix and Pandora by providing specific user with recommended results. Our application goes further than Netflix and Pandora, instead stopping at providing key recipes for the individual. They incorporate everyone in your party to enjoy the fruits. Okay, so that's the application that they did. And here's a video. You can watch the video and see it in action, and maybe get a sense of what technologies they used to create it. Okay, now that's just one. There are pages and pages of these projects in here that you can look at. Okay. This is pretty cool. I read this before. This is, I think this is a mobile app too, about the nutrition labels. So yeah, so Food Saver, this was cool too, I thought. So yeah, so they're all thinking about an information problem and how to solve that problem. So that's what I would like you to do for your final project in my class. But for this activity this week, I'd like you to individually look through the projects and pick out 2 projects that you think you and your permanent team that you'll be forming next week could use to model your final team project after. So I want you to be looking at these as for inspiration, and ideas that you can build on, perhaps, or just get your creative mind thinking about what you could do. And ideally, because this seminar is a senior seminar, I would like to have you use the technical skills that you've learned in your classes, your web development class, your database class, programming, UX design. Think of ideas for projects that you would like to work on. And this activity is really just to get your mind thinking about what types of things I'm looking for. So once you've chosen the 2 projects, just write a quick description of them, and why you think they would be interesting to model your project after, and then try and include some of the technical skills. I don't know if all of them will really spell out what different technologies they use, but you can probably have a sense. If it's a mobile application, what platforms did they use? Excuse me. If it's like that resume builder, I'm sure they had to use some kind of database that's behind in the back end. If it's a website and interface, you could talk about different functionalities that you want to that they probably had to use, JavaScript or that kind of thing. So yeah, so that's basically just to get you thinking. And then I'd like you to, so that's due on the 27th, and then the 28th, just comment on at least 2 other students in your temporary team. Just comment on their posts, and it can be anything. Just wow, that's interesting. I looked at the same thing because blah blah, or yeah, it would be cool if we could build on this and do something. Just get a conversation going, Okay, so that's it. And then this will lead into your individual assignment, which you will have an individual assignment in addition to your online activities every week. And this individual assignment for this week is going to be just to submit a copy of your finished resume. You're going to get some feedback from the students, and but you can submit the your finished resume, and also come up with your project proposal. So that's where hopefully you're going to get inspiration from looking at the other projects, but I want you to think about um, a possible project that you would like to do and that you would like to um, present to others, which we'll be doing next week to see if they would be interested in doing the similar project. So what I'm hoping is that you will all come up with individually some really cool project ideas, and then next week we can we can decide which projects are really going to be feasible and which projects that your teams are going to actually be working on. Okay, so that's the method behind the madness for this week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I think that's it. So yeah, so again, I'm going to be I'll be posting a video every Tuesday, and that's how we're going to start the week, is on Tuesday, because school started on a Tuesday. I'm just going to keep the same schedule. So I'll post things on Monday, and then everything will just start on a Tuesday and go for the week. I hope that makes sense. But we will get into a routine, especially once you start working on your projects. Okay, so have a great day. First day. I don't know if you're doing all your online classes online, but if you're not, if you're ever on campus, I do have my office hours. So if you want to come by and say hello at some point in the semester, that's cool. Or especially if we need some help with something, and we can also do a hangout or a Skype. But please email me if you have any questions on what we've got going so far. And I look forward to seeing your work this week. And I will post another video on Monday to set us up for the next week. All right. Have a wonderful day.